Can you see that website?
Yeah.
Okay, that if you go to that website there, this first option here will give you directions on how to do this. And then at the very bottom, there's a PDF that you can print. They give you the, so if you click in there, it's just a PDF. You can print it out and translate it, and it shows you all the steps as well. Okay, so you learn how to do that. So it's in there if you choose to use it. There is, Mr. Castro, there's the program I wanted to show you. Would that be appropriate to show now? May I show you that?
Yes.
I think that would be interesting for all of you. There's a gentleman that I work with. He was a professor of mathematics, and he created a program specifically for the boards. Okay, it's a wonderful, wonderful program, and I like to showcase it anytime I meet with math people to see if it would be something that would be useful for you. So let me made just a little short video to show you this stuff. So this program was specifically made for the interactive whiteboard. Okay. And what it does is it allows you to create gestures to do math. Okay? So instead of using the traditional interface, which is just click, you do the next interface. Right? All our interfaces now are going toward not click, but gesture-based. It's all gesture-based. And that's what this is. So as you see here, I'm going to open it up, which is Fluid Math. And then this is what you get. It's like a worksheet. Okay? And all you're going to do is you're going to use your pen, and as you write with your pen, it creates the mathematics. Okay? And it's all based on 4 gestures. Okay? So what you'll do here is I'm going to show you in a minute. We're going to do just a fraction. So in this case, I'm going to create, I created 2/4. Okay? And what you can do is you use a gesture, which is an arrow, and it simplifies it for you. Okay? And then if you do 2 arrows, instead of simplifying it, it'll give you the approximation. Okay? That's for numbers. But what you can also do is it doesn't have to be numbers, it can be expressions. Okay? So if you're working with algebra, you could do something like 2x plus 4 and use that gesture again, and it's going to simplify for you. Okay? Now, that's all good and well, but there's more to math than just that, right? So one of the other cool things that you can do is that sometimes students have a hard time understanding what the formula or the expression is and relating it to its graphical counterpart. So here's another gesture. By the way, to erase, you just scribble, and it takes it away. Okay? But what you do now is you do a loop, and what it does is it creates the graph for you. Okay? And this graph is fully interactive. Okay? You can move this graph around. You can move its axes. You can change it any which way you want. Okay? You can tell it what axes you want it to be. All right? And so you can do all this type of interactivity. Okay? Which is really wonderful for students to understand, okay, what this means. Now that's one level of interaction, but it can be better because that's a static graph. Kids don't they're not going to understand what this number does. They're not going to understand what that number does, right? So one of the things that you can do, and incidentally, you have another representation. It gives you a table of values as well, okay, which is really wonderful. One of the things that you can do then is you can also take this expression and make it a universal expression. So what I'm going to do, instead of writing y equals 2x plus 4, we're going to put constants instead, or variables for the constants. Okay? So what I can do here then is, let me forward this a little bit. I went too far. Okay, we're going to go fast speed. What it's going to allow us to do is going to allow us to make this graph dynamic. Okay, so I'll scroll down a little bit, and we'll write that again. Okay, instead of putting a number in there, I'm going to put a variable called a, and I'm going to say a is 1. Okay, and I have a little slider here, And what the slider allows me to do is change the value of A, for example. So there's my graph, you can see, and as I change that value, it changes that value. And so students now connect one with the other. Make sense? Really, really valuable stuff for students to learn. Okay? And then the other wonderful thing that it can do is it can actually simulate different types of expressions. Okay? So again, here we have this. We can copy all this as all these types of languages, and you can embed them into Word or PowerPoint if teachers use those. Okay? You can also embed them into Inspire. Here we're using Word to create a really quick test. Okay? So just copy everything that you have there and then just paste it in. And then the cool thing is that these, when you copy these, you can copy these as MathML or as LaTeX, and you can change them inside of Word as well. And here you see the same thing happens in Inspire. The last thing I want to show you is right over here. Suppose we're teaching kids how different expressions react to one another. Okay? And so here I was using a tablet. Okay, I wasn't using a board. But you can see here I have a car, I have another car. And I just want to see how far they go based on the parameters that I set here. Okay? And so what you do is you set these parameters, okay? And what you want is to just see how far they go. And once they go, then you attach them to each of these formulas. So you can see here, messing around with the pen. So here's A, right? And I attach B to A to B, whoops. And as I do that, I'm just going to run this. There's A, there's B. When I click play, right, it's going to move the car to show me how these values interact with one another. Okay? So really, really wonderful stuff. Okay, specifically made for the board, so it works perfectly with the pen and the interactivity, but it gives teachers kind of a different level of interaction with mathematics. Okay, it's called Fluid Math if you guys are interested. Okay, the same thing. So it's really, really wonderful to combine Inspire and this program together to do some math. All right. Do you guys have any other questions? No. Great. And if you want any of these examples to take back with you, let me know and I'll give them to one of you ladies, and then they can email them to you as well. All right, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.